We are seeing setups for each of the championships here on SmackDown: Universal Championship, Intercontinental Championship, Women's Championship, and the Tag Team Championship. And we are going to get through all who the new contenders may be in this episode. So stay tuned. This is your SmackDown review. What's up, Maniacs? My name is Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, a wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And today we are discussing SmackDown. It was a pretty decent show. How SmackDowns have always been really reliable at the end of the week. And like I said in the intro, we are beginning to see who are going to be the next few contenders for some of the championships, especially going into TLC, which is going to be the December pay-per-view. So to find out who those people are, make sure you stay tuned. And right here at WrestleManiac UK, I discuss everything that is WWE and AEW. So if this sounds like the place for you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I upload a new video. And whether you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you hit the like button as well. It's thoroughly appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's get into our review. And the show started with Jey Uso coming down to the ring and almost doing like a big grand introduction of how great Roman Reigns was at Survivor Series. Excuse me. Saying that forget about The Undertaker and his career. Obviously, Roman Reigns, the big dog, beat Drew McIntyre. He said, Drew McIntyre wasn't easy to beat, but Roman Reigns did it. He's the head of the table. And just before he could kind of finish his introduction, Roman Reigns came down to the ring. And Roman Reigns was not very happy with Jey Uso, which I thought at first was a bit weird because obviously he had kind of hugged Jey Uso at the end of Survivor Series, thanking him for kind of helping. But Roman Reigns came into the ring and said, did I ask for your help? In fact, I told you to leave after SmackDown lost their traditional Survivor Series match. I told you to leave the building and you were still hanging around. I never asked for your help. They done a little playback, of what happened at Survivor Series regarding Jey Uso and Roman Reigns' match. But Roman Reigns is like, he kind of went back to what he said at Survivor Series in terms of they don't respect you. That's why they don't listen to you. That's why you guys don't win. If they don't respect you, they don't respect me. And I did feel that, he's touching on the same points as he did. We've seen this ultimately. But obviously the delivery really hitting home, letting Jey really realize there's consequences to his actions, that through people not respecting Jey Uso, it's making Roman Reigns angry. It's making Roman Reigns feel a certain way, and Roman doesn't like feeling this way. So without saying it in ultimate words, like there's going to be repercussions for you if you don't get a hold on these people, sort of thing, and this dressing room. And Roman kept referring to the dressing room as bitches, which was really funny. So, I mean, a lot of the dialogue, like I said, we had seen before at Survivor Series, but, the delivery of Roman Reigns, everything he's doing right now, Jey Uso selling his fear of Roman Reigns. And that's the kind of fear that Roman Reigns wants the rest of the locker room to have over Jey Uso, so he doesn't have to deal with them directly ultimately. So that's what he was trying to get over. So Roman Reigns left the ring. Roman Reigns went up the entranceway backstage, and it looked like Jey Uso was more or less following behind him, but slower pace. And as Jey Uso was following behind him, Otis was coming out for his match. He was supposed to have a match with King Corbin, we were told. As Otis kind of made his way past Jey Uso and down the entranceway, all you saw was Jey Uso run back towards Otis. He had been backstage and came back out with a chair, clobbered Otis over the back with this chair, and continued to take out Otis very, very viciously. I was thinking, where are the referees and officials that usually run down and stop this straight away? This lasted for a good while before one referee came out and put a stop to it. So, poor Otis. He had to indulge all of those chair shots. Not nice for him, not nice on his back, but he's a big lad. I'm sure he'll get over it. He won't be too sad about it. So his match and King Corbin, that didn't happen. That was that segment done to start off the show. Next up, we had a tag team match, Street Profits versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler came out first and cut a promo, how they want the smoke, which is ultimately the tag team championship. Street Profits then came out, and I didn't really like their promo. Angelo Dawkins said that, Robert Roode couldn't grow a facial hair, which he has a full face of hair, so I didn't really get that. And then Montez Ford made a little jab that it was Robert Roode and HBK in the ring, because there's always so much similarities made between Dolph Ziggler trying to be Shawn Michaels. I just think it fell a bit flat. They should have just got straight to the match once Dolph Ziggler and Bobby Roode called them out. Once the match did kind of take off, I won't lie, I was kind of in and out of concentrating on this match, but it was decent. What I did see was pretty decent. It was a pretty good tag team match. Not much chemistry, I would say, but it was pretty good. Bobby Roode rolled up Montez Ford for the win, handful of tights, as you can imagine, and like I say, this kind of sets up these guys going at each other, possibly at TLC, hopefully in a ladder match. We love a good ladder match for a tag team championship, so maybe that's what we're going to get from these guys. I guess they've kind of positioned themselves beating the tag team champions as number one contenders at this point. So I think we've probably got about 3 weeks to build towards TLC. So be interesting to see where we go from here with these guys. But like I say, decent match from all involved. Next up, we had Daniel Bryan backstage. He had a little interview segment with Caleb Braxton, and he was saying that Sami Zayn thinks the whole world's against him and chasing him. No, I'm not against him. That I'm after his Intercontinental Championship and to bring the prestige back to the Intercontinental Championship. He also made, at the beginning of his promo, a little slide jab at Jey Uso and Roman Reigns, saying that Jey's got this devil on his shoulder. So he, I guess, is we've kind of mentioned Daniel Bryan still being in that title picture, maybe as a opponent for Roman Reigns, and obviously we'll get onto what happened towards the end of the show, but I think Daniel Bryan could be Roman Reigns' opponent at the Royal Rumble. That's a big match, big settings as well, and Daniel Bryan is the face of all faces, basically, and if Roman Reigns could crush Daniel Bryan, that's really going to help cement his heel turn. Really, at this point, it's not a turn; he is a heel. But yeah, that's basically the big heel crushing the babyface. So yeah, I think that will probably be our Royal Rumble match. But like we said, we got TLC before that. So anyway, back to the match at hand. It wasn't for the Intercontinental Championship, but it was Sami Zayn versus Daniel Bryan, and my gosh, I thought this was like a Ring of Honor match that I was watching. It was crazy, high pace, very intense, very strong in places. There was a apron, like a suplex, but like a brain buster kind of move that Sami Zayn done to Daniel Bryan on the apron, dropping Daniel Bryan basically on his head on the apron. Daniel Bryan that has had obviously so much issues with that area of his body. Absolutely nuts. We saw several like suicide bomb kind of moves and tope suicidas. Absolutely crazy. Nuts match. Very, very good match. Best match of the night. And it ended because Daniel Bryan, he done this suicide dive to Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn used it as an opportunity, got knocked down, but kind of walked off, ran backstage. As he ran backstage, obviously the referee's doing her count. Sami Zayn then emerges back from backstage and runs into the ring, and Daniel Bryan gets counted out, basically. So Sami Zayn wins. So another very smart victory by Sami Zayn. We find out what actually kept Daniel Bryan backstage was him getting beaten up by Jey Uso. Kevin Owens came to the rescue there. So that set up Kevin Owens versus Jey Uso later on in the night. But Sami Zayn with another intelligent win here. Later on in the night, but I'll say it now, he had a backstage section where he was supposed to have an interview with Kayla. Apollo Crews and Big E were playing basketball backstage with a bin and some rolled up paper. I literally just rolled my eyes thinking, Big E singles push, but it transpired into something, so I was okay with it in the end. Apollo Crews was kind of gonna run his mouth at Sami Zayn. Big E told him to calm down, and Big E kind of had some words with Sami Zayn, squeezed his hand. You know, if Sami Zayn was going on how he beat Daniel Bryan in 10 seconds, but it was the 10-second count. But yeah, Big E in this segment basically positioned himself as a possible contender for the Intercontinental Championship. And to be honest, where Big E is supposed to be getting a singles push right now, I think this is the best they can do for him. Build him up slowly, put him in the Intercontinental picture, because you don't want to put him in the Universal Championship picture just for Roman to basically squash him. So this is the best place they can put Big E right now, and at least it looks like we're getting some direction to what they, once upon a time promised in terms of this singles push. So yeah, like I said earlier on, it looked like the tag champions have their next possible contender. The Intercontinental Champion looks to have their next possible contender. So yeah, we will see how we kind of get on from there. Right, moving on, we had some women's action, Bianca Belair versus Natalya. But before we get on to that, guys, if you are enjoying the review, please make sure you smash the like button. It does loads for the channel, and I thoroughly appreciate it right here at WrestleManiac UK. So please support the channel by just hitting the thumbs up button. It is free, and I'll thoroughly appreciate it. Like I say, thank you very much. Next up, we had Bianca Belair versus Natalya. Bianca Belair hot out of that show that she put on at Survivor Series, despite not getting the victory. She was the MVP of the Survivor Series team, the SmackDown Survivor Series team. In fact, the Survivor Series match, I would say she was the MVP of. She was going to get on her way to having a match with Natalya here, where Bayley came out, and Bayley was on commentary. Bianca Belair and Natalya were having a pretty decent match, and then it spilled out to the outside where Bayley was at commentary, and then the match just kind of turned into a bit of a mess. Bayley clapping her hands away at Bianca Belair, and then I think Natalya came over. Natalya was gonna lay an attack on Bianca Belair, missed, and then hit over Bayley. I think Bianca Belair was gonna strike Natalya. Natalya got out the way and then hit Bayley. Bianca Belair got back in the ring with Natalya, and I think Bayley got onto the apron. Natalya was pushed to Bayley, got knocked off the apron. Bianca Belair then rolled her up for the win. So yeah, a bit of a mess, like I say, towards the ending, but it keeps Bianca Belair strong, looking like Bayley is going to be her next contender. So that will be good. When they get round to that. I don't know if that will be something that will be featured at TLC. Will that just be a SmackDown feud? Will that stretch maybe to Royal Rumble? And maybe we see that kind of culminate in the Royal Rumble match itself. Who knows? But Bianca Belair being kept busy, same with Bayley on SmackDown. Backstage, before we get on to the next match, we actually had a Carmella promo as well, and Carmella was obviously stating why she's been doing what she's doing in terms of attacking Sasha Banks. It culminated in Carmella clicking for her drink, as she's been doing, putting out her hand for a drink, and off screen we saw this person delivering the drink to Carmella. The person turned their hand around, and you saw the boss rings on their knuckles. It was none other than Sasha Banks delivering the drink to Carmella, and Sasha Banks laid an attack on Carmella from there after throwing the champagne in her face. So Sasha Banks, fed up of taking the beatings, she's got her one back on Carmella. She's told Carmella next week, whatever, come find me, you know where I am at, sort of thing. So it looks like we're probably going to get into a program with Carmella and Sasha Banks, which we could have assumed anyway. But yeah, Sasha Banks getting back even, so to speak, with Carmella. Next up, we had King Corbin versus Murphy. This all kind of started from a backstage interview where Rey Mysterio was kind of saying what he's grateful about, obviously being Thanksgiving. And King Corbin kind of interjected and said, Murphy's just here to ride the coattails of you, Mr. Mysterio, and that he probably won't stick around until next year's Thanksgiving. He said it in his cocky way, but, kind of planting some seeds that is this what Murphy is trying to do? You know, is he just trying to get in with the family to get this kind of prominent position? Anyway, these guys had the match, and I can't lie, the match itself wasn't great. A lot of interference from the Mysterio family, which was very, very weird. You know, we had Ray jumping on top of onto the apron, Dominic doing the same, both causing Corbin distractions, and it's like, why are you doing that? You know, you guys meant to be the good guys. You guys don't do this. Furthermore, why has the referee seen this and not done, you know, throwing them out of the arena? Like, it was very, very weird, and was kind of building some sympathy towards Corbin. And Corbin, you know, still trying to hold his own, get off the apron and don't get involved in my matches, all that kind of stuff. But it was very, very weird, the fact that the Mysterios were kind of putting themselves in. And in the end, Murphy had the cover on Corbin after like a V-trigger, a knee kind of move. Corbin put his leg on the bottom rope, and Dominic Mysterio took his leg off the rope. And Murphy got the win, rolled out the ring, and obviously went to celebrate with the Mysterio family. And while Corbin was kind of calling them out, he got to the mic and was saying, you know, you guys all interfered, this is rubbish and all this kind of stuff. The Mysterio family were kind of standing there all cocky and, you know, heelish in a way. Very interesting what's going on here. Are they trying to turn Corbin? Are they turning the Mysterio family? What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. But I did think it was very weird how invested the Mysterios were in this match and how much they got involved. Yeah, I thought that was very, very weird indeed. Next up, we had the main event, Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens. Main event Jey. We've been saying it. We've been singing it. He just looks so at home in this position, putting on really, really good matches. And there was nothing different here. He put on a really good match with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens' left arm took a lot of damage. At one point, he tried to do the pop-up power bomb. He couldn't do it in the end. However, I guess one negative, so to speak, in this match, we didn't get a definitive winner. In the end, Jey Uso looked like he had just had enough, so to speak. And Jey Uso left the ring, went under the ring, pulled out a steel chair, and started attacking Kevin Owens with a steel chair. So obviously, Kevin Owens wins this match by disqualification. As he was really laying into Kevin Owens, there was a bit of a change in fortune, and Kevin Owens laid an attack on Jey Uso. And this kind of, it brought me back to kind of old school Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen, if you will. And he didn't even take to the mic. He just saying down the barrel of the lens of the camera, Roman Reigns, I'm attacking your cousin. Where are you? You know, you say family's everything. Where are you? Come out and save him. That kind of stuff. Laying into him with a steel chair and all sorts. Gave him a stunner in the ring again. Kevin Owens, the you know, saying to the camera, speaking to the camera, knowing Roman Reigns is watching the entire time. And Kevin Owens, you know, the icing on the cake for me was Kevin Owens dragging one of the commentary chairs. Sorry, yeah. The icing on the cake was Kevin Owens grabbing one of the commentary chairs, dragging it over to the head of the commentary table, if you like, sitting at it with his feet on the table, saying that he is the head of the table now, calling out Roman Reigns. You know, what are you going to do about it? You and me, Roman, challenging Roman Reigns, you know, for this head of the table position. So, I mean, I think that's as clear as anything that he is not scared. He said, I don't fear you or Jey, and that he is here to challenge Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. It's good to see Kevin Owens in this position. You know, this is someone that I guess a lot of us have been kind of asking for a long time. When is he going to get back to these heights? When is he going to get his teeth stuck into a real feud again? I wouldn't say he's been in a real feud since Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And, you know, the whole year has nearly happened since then. That was what, March or April this year? So it's good to see Kevin Owens back, kind of not quite heel Kevin Owens, but you know, not taking any crap Kevin Owens. And him and Roman Reigns will be a very good match if that is the match that they are planning to have at TLC. Of course, there's a lot to happen in between now and then. Daniel Bryan is possibly, again, like I say, another moving part within this entire story of Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens. So yeah, but I think it's absolutely brilliant. Someone had to stand up to these guys, and it looks like it's gonna be Kevin Owens. Daniel Bryan was standing up to them, but he's kind of been pushed aside right now because Kevin Owens has stood up and got one over on Jey Uso, if you like. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see how we kind of move forward from here, how we proceed from here towards TLC, towards Royal Rumble, who are going to be the contenders for the Universal Championship against Roman Reigns. And how is Roman Reigns going to take it next week that Jey Uso didn't kind of put Kevin Owens to sleep, didn't put him away, and that he's still running his mouth basically now directly at Roman Reigns. That's going to be very interesting to see. Guys, that is our SmackDown review. I hope you enjoyed the review, and I hope you enjoyed SmackDown. Like I say, we've kind of established who our next contenders for each of the championships could well be. Let me know what you think of in the comments. What kind of match are you invested in? What championship are you invested in the most? Let me know down below in the comments. If you enjoyed today's review, please remember to smash the like button. And if you're new here, welcome to the channel. Subscribe to WrestleManiac UK and hit the notification bell so you get notified each and every time I drop a new video. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.